All right, this is DJ REM with the Crush Beyond Dust Show, and I have Mark from the band A Simple Complex on the line. How you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having us back.
Definitely. Thank you for taking the time to call in. Always a pleasure to get to talk to you. So why don't you start by introducing yourself and the members of the band that are not with us tonight?
All right, well, my name's Mark, and I play guitar. I'm a founding member and one of the primary songwriters. We've got a lead singer. We're a female-fronted band. Her name's Jess. And our drummer is Chris. Our bass player is Jim. And our latest member to the group, just added him this year, is Stu, and he's our second guitarist.
And very cool. And what's going on with you guys right now? What do you guys have lined up for shows and stuff?
Well, we're just coming to the end of our, what we call our heavy season, because up here in New Hampshire, it starts to get a bit chilly and a bit snowy and blizzardy and 2 feet of snowy, so we tend to try to wrap it up right around Halloween. But we're playing this Friday in Hampton, New Hampshire at a place called Wally. It's a biker bar. And then the next Friday, on the 25th, we're doing a Halloween show in Dover, New Hampshire at the Brick House with a Rob Zombie tribute band, and they're excellent.
All right, well, that sounds like it should be a good time.
We got one more. This is pretty interesting. The local papers are actually going to be writing stories about it. On Saturday, November 2nd, in Manchester, New Hampshire, our singer is getting married to the drummer of another local band, and the reception is being held at a club named Millie's Tavern, and the reception is going to be the fiancé, who will be the husband, his band performing, and our band performing that night.
Well, that's really cool. So, how long has A Simple Complex been around?
Well, we started out, it has to be probably 7-8 years ago, with an entirely different lineup besides myself. And we were a male-fronted band, had a similar sound to what we have now. And we released an album in 2007 called Undo the Damage. And we did all right with that. The lineup was getting a bit not ambitious, and the members were starting to look elsewhere, and so we did the lineup reboot in 2010. Everyone else got replaced, and we moved from a male singer to a female singer. And since then, with this new lineup, we've been gangbusters. We were voted the best band in the area by our regional newspaper called The Hippo, and then they put us right on the cover, so that was really cool. And we've been nominated twice for Best in State for New Hampshire by a committee called the New England Music Awards, made up of the local DJs and club owners and music writers and such. So, we're still nobodies, but we're big nobodies, I guess you could say.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you're not nobodies. You guys are awesome. You guys kick ass.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
I mean, I've been following you for a long time, and yeah. Enough said on that. You rock.
Thanks, man.
So, how often do you guys get together and practice? And do you guys do much practicing while you're, when the scene's busy for you guys?
When the scene's busy, we practice, once a week. Sometimes if we're doing like 3 gigs in a week, we'll skip the practice because it's practice enough. But then when it gets into the slower season, which we're coming up to now, we still do 1 practice a week, but we throw in writing sessions where, not everyone has to show up, just the people that are interested in writing, and start hashing out new riffs and saying, hey, last night I was working on this beat, I think it kicks ass. I was working on this riff, I think that could work with that. And we just brainstorm, and then when you have the practice, as you start to get a song together, I'm just looking in the chat room and someone's saying, Jess. That's pretty cool. Some dude named Werewolf.
Yeah, he's one of the DJs at the station.
Oh, cool. So, we tend to do a bit more, in the winter time, it's more writing sessions and getting our act together on all the things we've been meaning to do for a while, like updating our one sheet and more interviews and things like that.
still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it sounded like the phone cut out. So, what I have to ask, you mentioned that you went from a male singer to to your current female singer. What kind of pushed you to go in that direction?
Well, it was just the auditioning process. We don't have any preconceived ideas of what a member should be. If they should be tall, short, male, female, black, white. As long as you're old enough to get in the club and not so old that you can't stay up past 9 o'clock, then you're fine with us. So when we were doing the auditioning process, we had a number of guys show up. Hard rock tends to attract guys more than girls generally for auditions around here, at least. And we saw this advertisement on Craigslist, and it said on Craigslist it was a female singer looking for a hard rock band. Said, hey, well, let's give it a shot. So we brought her over and gave her a couple of the songs that we had done with our previous male singer, and then just a couple of covers to get comfortable. And I mean, she knocked it right out of the park. We were absolutely blown away.
Well, that's very cool. I'm glad it obviously has worked out very well. So, rock on to that.
Thanks, man.
So one of the guys in the chat, Saraqui, he's asking who's in the shower. So I have to tell him the noise you hear in the background is my wife's big, huge, ginormous saltwater fish tank in the background. So that's what you hear is the water running from the tank.
I like that someone had a naughty vision of our singer in the shower.
Yep, they're like, who's in the shower? And then somebody's like, REM's taking a piss.
Yeah, someone's having fantasies of our singer in the shower. We don't mind that. That's totally fine.
Exactly. Okay, so what? Here's a good question for you. What got you into music? What kind of influences have you had and do you have in your life that got you into this and have, made you want to keep doing this?
Well, for me, it started when I was probably 10, 11 years old. My stepfather would take out the acoustic guitar and just start playing some folky songs, old Clapton and Everly Brothers and things like that. And I just really loved the idea of, having a guitar and singing. It's just an amazing experience to watch, and it's an experience that, I wanted to be able to return to other people. So I picked up the acoustic guitar and tried singing some songs, and I realized quickly that I was absolutely a horrible singer. And I also noticed that I wasn't the best at playing guitar, so what I did was I gave up on the singing and I bought an electric guitar, put a lot of distortion on it to hide all of my screw-ups, and since then I think I got everyone pretty well convinced that I'm okay at it, and I'll just kind of keep pushing forward from there.
Very cool. And I have to ask, with this current new EP that's out, or 3-song album, whatever you want to call it, can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yeah, sure. It's called What Lies Ahead is the name of the EP, but the full name is What Lies Ahead Left Behind Volume 3. And the reason it's Volume 3 is we're telling a story here, 3 songs at a time. So we released, the first disc was Fill the Void, Volume 1. That was in 2011. That's when you interviewed us the first time. Then we released another one in 2012, and that was Volume 2, 3 more songs. This year, we're back with 3 more songs. We released it in August. And what's going to happen is next year we plan on releasing Volume 4, and that is the final chapter to the story. When you've got all 12 songs, you rearrange them, and they tell a story, kind of like a Pink Floyd The Wall or Operation Mindcrime or something along that lines. So we're really dying to finish this. We're going into the studio next spring to do the last 3 songs and finish up the story. We're really excited about it.
Very cool, and I have to say, I'm not sure how we missed doing an interview in 2012. I'm kind of bummed.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of bummed we didn't keep up with that. But hey, we're talking now, right? So
that's all that matters.
what Speaking of, you mentioned, heading to the studio. What studio did you use to, have you used the same studio to record all these EPs, or what's up with that?
Yep. Yeah, we evaluated a number of studios in the area, price versus quality, and there was one that we found that the price was good and matched a lot of other studios, but their sound quality, you could just hear a difference. You could hear that the guy was putting heart and soul into it, and it was just a step above all the other guys that were in the same price range. And the name of that studio is Guilty Dog Studios, and they are just south of Boston. So all three have been done in that same studio, and we plan on doing the fourth one there, so that we've got a consistent sound. And again, we really dig this guy. We think he's amazing.
Oh, that's cool. And the tracks sound very good, and as a music fan, I'm very happy. So keep doing what you're doing, for sure.
Cool, man. Thank you.
So the $1 million question is, how did you guys come up with the name of the band?
Well, the person who founded the band with me back in the day, we were kind of throwing names back and forth, and nothing was really sticking. And we'd email back and forth, and I sent an email to him saying, well, actually, how did it work out? When we got together, we said, hey, have you thought of any other band names since the last time we talked? And I said, yeah, I was thinking A Simple Complex. And he said, that's weird. I was going to come to you with that exact same name. So we both thought that we had come up with it, and since we both liked it, we just settled on it.
Yeah, if you both come up with the same name, how can you not go with it,
Exactly, right. He had come up with just Simple Complex, and I came up with A Simple Complex, and we said, well, let's do it.
Yeah, definitely. It was like it was meant to be.
Yeah, it's one of those, sixth sense, fifth eye, third eye, whatever kind of things.
Exactly. Okay, so where is a good place for people to go to find out more about A Simple Complex? What websites and social networking do you guys use?
Well, we try to be on all of them. We've got our own website. That's always the best place to go proactively, is just asimplecomplex.com. But we do the Facebook thing. We do the Twitter thing. I think we have a Google Plus page out there that we go to once every 6 months. And we're on Reverb Nation. We're on Spotify. And one of our discs is on Pandora. We're working on getting the other two on there.
Oh, that's really cool. So, how hard is it to get your music on Pandora? What is that like?
It was extremely difficult. It was tough. I mean, you have to be selling your CD physically at Amazon, which doesn't make any sense. If you're talking about internet radio, you're talking about the future.
Right.
So, why do I need to make an 8-track for sale? Basically, that's where CDs are going. And you have to fill out some forms that talk about where they're going to pay you, and it's almost like you become like a business, basically, right, that they have to pay you. So it was a mess. It was difficult, but it's just one of those necessary evils you got to do these days. I prefer to come to a station like Rock Attic Radio, where people are going to throw new music at me, and you've got someone there, so a person who says, I dig music. I go through thousands of songs every year and then pick out the best ones and filter it all out for you and hand it to you. Rather than having some algorithm pick music of what they think I'm going to like. So, but Pandora is also popular, and some people like that. So it's, like I said, it's a necessary evil.
Right. Well, and we appreciate guys like you that like to come and hear the music that we dig through and pick through, because let me tell you, there's a pile of it. Oh my.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the best way to get involved in new music is to have a friend come up to you and you go, dude, I heard this song yesterday. You've got to check this out. And that's the way I look at Rock Attic Radio. It's, a bunch of people who say, hey, this is what I dig and I want to share with other people. And then I go and listen and I go, wow, they found some real gems here, man. I got to check this band out.
Right. Yep. Definitely. Very good. Very good. So, this is kind of a question specifically for you. If I grabbed your iPod, your MP3 player, however you like to listen to music, your 8-track player, as you mentioned, what bands would I find you listening to right now?
It would be all over the place. Of course, you're going to get some hard rock. I've always been a big fan of some bands that aren't around or aren't releasing new music anymore, but are doing reunion tours, like Faith No More and Quicksand. You've got Deftones, Alice in Chains, a lot of these bands that you can hear an obvious influence. But then, I listen to, I don't like a lot of rap, but there's some that I really dig. I listen to a rapper named Wax and another one named Watsky. I just went to see them perform down in Rhode Island last week, and it was a blast. I listen to softer music. I'll go back to a Cat Stevens or a Fleetwood Mac album, and I'll listen to bizarre, experimental stuff like Die Antwoord or MGMT, bands that are just, odd. They do funky stuff. So you'll find just about anything. Anything. I tell people I listen to everything from Enya to Carcass.
That's awesome, and I can so appreciate that because I'm right there with you. My music tastes are crazy, wild, and the spectrum is definitely out there.
I guess if it's not Nickelback and it's not Gangnam Style, I probably listen to it.
Hey, I can't argue with that logic. Okay, so when you're not doing live shows and practicing and all this stuff, what do you like to do to relax, to unwind?
Honestly, I listen to a lot of music. I have my stereo hooked up so that it plays the speakers in my living room, it plays in my hallway upstairs, and it plays downstairs in my family room. And it's hooked up to my computer. So I'll take like Rock Addict Radio, or I'll take an MP3 playlist that I've made, or a CD that I've bought lately, and just blast it through the whole house. I really don't turn the TV on very much. It's rare. I'd rather just have some music playing through the house, and maybe read a book. Or I have an 8-year-old son. We'll do music things together, or I'll do whatever games he wants to play. Doing chores around the house. If I do watch TV, it's probably IT Crowd. That's about the only show I watch.
Very cool. So, what would you say sets a Simple Complex apart from all the other bands out there trying to do the, trying to make something of themselves? We talked about how we go through thousands of bands a year and pick out the ones we like the best. So, why am I picking you out?
Luck? I don't know. I like to think that, we're not named a Simple Complex just because, hey, we thought it was a cool name. A big part of it is that if you listen to our music right away, it does seem rather simple. It's nothing real technical. It's not Morbid Angel or Carcass or I can't think of the name of this other band that's just very technical and all over the place. It's not even as complex as like a band named like Tool or something. But as you start to listen to the music more, you see that there's a deeper layer going on in there. You start to hear the lyrics, and you start to see, the song isn't about what I thought it was about. I kind of wrote the song off because it sounded like a love song, but now that I'm really listening to it, it's actually a song about suicide. Or as you start to listen to some of the music, and if you pick up a guitar and try to play the riffs, it sounds like an easy riff, but as you start to play it, you go, wait a minute, this is a much more complex riff than it sounds. So it sounds simple, but there's actually a deep layer of complexity to it, and so we try to live up to the name.
Well, and I'm going to tell you why I like the simple complex, because you know what? Because I feel like it. It's because, yeah, when I listen to you guys, you don't sound like all the other bands out there. You guys have a unique sound, and I mean, when I start playing one of your tracks, or if I hear one of your tracks, I know who I'm listening to right away, and I don't have to try to guess. So that's why I love you guys.
Cool, man. Well, thank you.
So, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a live show? And when I say crazy, it doesn't have to be something bad. It can be like a, oh my god, this is awesome kind of moment.
Well, there's so many things that I could pick from. I'll start to tell you one, and if you don't think it's crazy enough, then I'll start to tell you another one. So, we were playing at one of those Battle of the Bands, which I don't generally recommend because usually the winners are predetermined anyway, but you know, you do it for exposure and just because you like to play out. So one of the things that I do is I'm wireless with my guitar, so I go off of the stage and out into the crowd, but I don't just kind of, you know, walk around bored. I stand on the bar, I go out into the street, I'll stand on people's tables. I'll walk between their drinks and their meals. You know, I do just a lot of crazy stuff just to have fun. I get on people's shoulders. I almost took out a chandelier that way. Well, one of the times that I did that, there was a couple of ladies there, probably in their 40s or 50s or whatever, a couple of cougars, and I was standing on the bar, and they started to slide their hands up my shorts. So before anything got too crazy, I left off of the bar. But I have to say that's one of the things that you kind of go, whoa, well, you know, I do have a wedding ring on, so let's not get too nuts up here.
Right, exactly.
I'm complimented, but at the same time, I'm not looking to be violated.
That's pretty crazy.
I've been spanked while I've been, you know, like standing on the bar or on a bar stool or things like that. Spanked by a girl, and then 2 minutes later, spanked by a guy.
Well, you know, I guess if you're walking around the bar and people's tables, I mean, you got to expect stuff's going to happen, you know?
Oh, yeah, and I mean, people react in different ways. I've seen everything from people, you know, just throwing their fist up, throwing up their metal horns, going, you know, yeah, you know, this is an awesome show, it's entertaining, I'm having fun. I've had people flip me off while I'm doing it. I've had people gasp and shriek terror because they weren't expecting me. And I've had people spank me. There's, you name it, it's happened to me. I've had people pour drinks down my throat.
Hey, well, you know, free drinks. Can't complain about that.
Can't complain at all.
Okay, so now it is time for the most important question of the evening, so I hope you're ready.
Hit me.
Who in the band spends the most time in front of the mirror before a live show?
Oh, well, with a female-fronted band, I think the answer to that's pretty obvious.
Is it though? Is it really?
Yeah, there was one time we did a show far away. It was way up in Maine, so a good 4 or 5 hours away from us, and we had to get a hotel room. And then the next morning when I woke up, the bathroom door was closed. So I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and doing the pee-pee dance, and my eyeballs are floating. And it was about half an hour later, I finally knocked on the door and I said, look, you know, I really got to use this bathroom. And she was in there doing her hair and her makeup and all this stuff. So I would say, yeah, our lead singer wins that one by a long shot.
Okay, she gets it. Well, and I tell you what, I talk to a lot of female-fronted bands, and it's not always the female that that gets the call for that answer. So you never know.
We fill the stereotype.
It's all good. and you know, she's not here to defend herself, so she's just gonna have to deal with it when she hears the interview.
That's it, absolutely. And she knows that that we love her, and also when she does interviews, she takes pot shots at me. So it's all in good fun.
Exactly. Very good. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to tell the listeners and the people that are here at the interview about A Simple Complex? Anything I haven't asked you want to make sure people know?
I just want to say that, anyone that's listening to the interview and has made it this far, thank you, because, we're a small fish in a big ocean, and there's a million bands out there screaming for your attention. We appreciate that you want to hear a little bit about us, find out about us, and hopefully you're going to stay tuned and check out our music that's coming up next, and, I hope you dig it. I hope that you're inspired to go drop 99 cents on one of the songs, and, even though, you buy a 99-cent song on, Amazon MP3, and it ends up being 60 cents for us, it's not the 60 cents that we care about. We could care less about that. It's just the fact that somebody said, hey, these guys, I really enjoy what they're doing. I dig the message. It communicates to me. It makes me want to rock, or, it's so sad it makes me want to cry, or it's so much adrenaline it makes me want to go crazy. Just that we're creating that emotion in you, that we can get a reaction out of you, that means a lot to us. And if it's worth it to you to say, hey, I want this song, and to drop 99 cents on it, money shmoney, just thank you for the acknowledgement, just for saying, hey, you guys put a lot of work into this, and we like it.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a great reason.
I see something in the chat room here, someone asking if any advice for new bands. And yeah, I would say the first thing is to make sure that you're writing from the heart. Make sure you have a message, have a concept. Know what you want other people to be thinking when you're done with your songs. Have a point. Because there's a lot of bands out there that are just kind of like, hey man, let's get together, let's write some songs, and kind of copy all the other bands that we've seen, and just do it. And if that's your goal, then fine. But if you really want to make a difference, I would say, really know what you want to create in other people. What emotion do you want to create? What kind of story do you want to tell? What impression do you want to leave people with? And then the second thing is to really polish up. Really to know your instrument good enough to really make your group tight. You need to have that synergy. You have to play your songs 100 times, and then even when you're playing them out, you have to keep playing them. You have to keep them polished. It's really important. And the other thing is to make sure that you have quality gear. It doesn't have to be expensive, but make sure that the sound that you're putting out and that the gear that it's going out through is quality. Make sure it's good stuff. There's too many bands that I see that have these big pedal racks of these cheap pedals that ruin their sound, and people are plugging their ears and leaving because they don't have it together. They think louder is always better. They think more effects is always better. I plug my guitar into my wireless. The wireless goes into my Randall head and comes out of my Randall speaker cabinet. That's it. There's nothing else to my entire setup, A to Z. That's all you got. And, so don't overcomplicate it. Just find a good sound for whatever you've got. Get a good solid kit. Get a good vocal microphone. And make sure that, you are putting out a good sound. And that'd be my advice for new bands.
Well, that sounds like great advice, and hopefully we get a lot of bands that tune into the station, a lot of bands I'm sure that listen to the interview, so hopefully they'll take that advice to heart, because it definitely, I think you just you hit the point, is you don't overcomplicate it.
That's it. Just find something that works and go with it. You can always modify it and tweak it as you go, but don't have device A, device B, and then add C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and K trying to make it better. It's not always the best plan. You can replace a piece of gear. At some point I plan on upgrading my head, just getting a nicer one. But you're not going to see me with tons of effects and this and that, and just a lot of people wreck their sound, unfortunately. So get quality gear, polish your songs, and have a point, and you should do fine.
Very good. Well, thank you for that advice to everyone. That's much appreciated. And there's another question from the chat that wants to know if you're Sarah Cui. He wants to know if you're planning on collaborating with any bands.
Well, I'd love to do that. I don't have anything specifically on the schedule, but it's interesting you talk about collaborating. We did our CD release party here in Manchester, New Hampshire, and usually we like to do it at a big show, like when we're opening for Seven Dust or we're opening for Korn, and none of those opportunities were coming up this year. So we had to kind of sit back and brainstorm and say, all right, how can we make this a big deal? How can we make this something that people are going to have to come to? And the concept that we came up with was we kept it a secret until the day of the show. We got the lead singers of other bands together. We picked like 6 or 7 of the lead singers in the area that, we have a lot of respect for, and they really like us. And what we did was we learned one of their songs. So you take Prospect Hill. I don't know if you've played them yet.
Yes, I have. Yep, I know those.
Okay, yep. They're a well-known band here in the area. So we asked the lead singer of Prospect Hill, we want to do one of your songs with you, and our singer will, trade lines and do backup harmonies and such. And then that singer did one of our songs with us. So the whole night was, we would come out, we'd introduce, okay, this is Steve from Craving Lucy, and maybe you've played Craving Lucy.
I've heard of that band. I don't know if I've actually played them before or not.
Cool, yeah, they're very good. So we would introduce, this is Steve from Craving Lucy, and he would sing one of our songs. And then when that song was done, we played one of their songs. And the whole concept was, the whole concept of that was, we want it to be like a brotherhood of the bands in the area. We're all working together. It's not a competition. It's not one band does well and we feel bad about that, or another band is doing poorly and we go, well, we don't care. We try to be a brotherhood and promote the local scene so that everyone wins. So we did it with Craving Lucy, we did it with Prospect Hill, we did it with Mongrel, we did it with East is East, we did it with Mindset X, and we also brought back our previous singer to come up and do a couple songs, and so we turned it into a big deal, and we ended up having a really good CD release party. So that was a big collaboration. It was a big deal. It was one of those once-in-a-lifetime things, and we did record the audio and video of that show. So hopefully, over the winter while we're taking care of things, not gigging as much, what I'd like to do is get that footage together and get that footage out there, and you can see that collaboration. And we're hoping that this idea is something that other bands do, because we talked to club owners and people in radio in the area, and they said they'd never heard of a band doing this before, where we do one of your songs, you do one of our songs with us. And I'm hoping that the idea takes off and it just makes the local music community work together as a team and just moves the whole scene up a level. I'm hoping we started something. I'm hoping it's an original idea that just takes off.
Okay, well, I definitely wish you guys the best of luck with that, and I look forward to hopefully we'll get to see it here this winter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you ever come to Michigan, you have to tell me.
Okay, will do. There was a promoter, a person who does some big shows out there that we were in talks with for a while, who wanted to get us out in that whole area, Chicago, Detroit, and the whole thing, the Midwest, and it didn't pan out, but, I've still got that contact, so hopefully something can come through.
Yeah, I hope so, too. I'd love to come see you guys live. No doubt in my mind there.
I see there's someone on here, Sarah Kwai, asking, will it be available for your overseas fans? So we're talking about...
So I think he was talking about the live footage you were talking about.
Oh, yeah. Still got to get it together. But, if we end up making a DVD, we'll make sure that it's available overseas. You know, if we post any clips be on YouTube, we won't put any restrictions on where it can be seen. Absolutely.
And I want to I've been totally hacking his name all night. He's tuned in from the Netherlands right now, so.
That's awesome.
So, my apologies for hacking your name, dude. Thank you so much for tuning in, though, because I know it's like 3 o'clock in the morning for him right now, so.
Oh, that's right, yeah. That's our original bass player was from Sweden.
Very cool, man. Yeah, he's a regular of my show. It's pretty neat to have somebody in the chat that's, you know, it's that early in the morning that tunes into your show. It's pretty cool.
That is very cool, and does it live. No, not even rebroadcast or anything. 4:38 a.m. in the morning for you.
Yep.
You're die hard. You're hardcore, man. Rock on.
That's right. Definitely want to give a big shout while I have you on the line, though. Give a big shout out to Renee and Wolf and Zombie and Joe and Kitty, also tuned in tonight, hanging in the chat with us. You know, it's without these guys in the chat, hanging out and asking questions. I mean, it definitely we can't do it without them. So huge props to everybody.
Definitely, yeah, right. Same thing here.
Okay, man. Well, that's all I got for you tonight. I am going to play, so everybody that's tuned in knows, I got 6 simple complex songs queued up to go. I'm going to start with one of the latest tracks that they sent me. It's called Head. So crank it up, and if you, Mark, can stay tuned for a minute, don't go anywhere.
Yep.
And yeah, there you go, guys. A simple complex right here on the Crushed Beyond Dust show with DJ REM.
Yeah.
You're